Today on Fresno State Focus, we check out the Peace Garden. 5 influential figures and the message they left behind are alive in the garden today.
Plus, we see how Fresno State is raising awareness about censorship in the library and how people should be in control of their own education.
We also see the scooter situation on campus. With many scooters stolen, we got an inside look at the issue. Fresno State Focus starts now. Hello and welcome to Fresno State Focus. I'm Ronan Vanthi.
And I'm Kaya Walls. Welcome to our third newscast of the semester. We start with the recent Gaza peace plan. The latest news coming out of the Israel-Hamas peace agreement is the ongoing transport of bodies from Gaza into Israel. Israel just received the remains of 2 or more hostages, a few... This is all part of the President Trump's proposal to end the war, which states Gaza will become a de-radicalized terror-free zone. The region will be redeveloped into a more stable environment. IDF forces will withdraw to the agreed line, where they will accept all hostages held by Hamas who will no longer be allowed to govern Gaza in any form. To talk more about how the peace plan can unfold with me today is Dr. Julia Schatz, who is an associate professor in the history department here at Fresno State. Dr. Schatz, thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me.
And regarding the peace between Israel and Palestine, my first question is, how surprising was it that the peace agreement was signed?
So what has been agreed to between Israel and Hamas at this point is part 1 of this peace plan that President Trump has initiated, and that's really a ceasefire. It is, I think, not that surprising given that President Trump clearly started to exert a certain amount of pressure on Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel that had not been there before, and Egypt, Qatar, and Turkey also imposed this on Hamas. So I think both Israel and Hamas were really under a lot of pressure to come to some sort of ceasefire agreement.
And in Egypt, where they signed it, as you know, Tony Blair and Trump are mostly leading the agreement. And how surprised are you of those 2 leading it?
I think that President Trump has clearly changed his mind in recent days about how interested he is in sort of forcing Israel to the table. And that happened really after Israeli forces struck Qatar, which was, I think, caught President Trump by surprise. And clearly he didn't like it. Tony Blair being a part of this conversation and being part of the conversation of this supposed board of peace that will decide what happens with Gaza in the future is a bit surprising, and I think a little bit concerning that the future of Gaza is supposed to be in the hands of President Trump and Tony Blair and not of the people of Gaza. So I do have concerns about that.
I hope under their leadership that it does help resolve the war. And thank you so much for being with us today. Back to you at the desk, Ronan.
With all the conflict in the world, it's important to take a step back and celebrate peace. Lucky for Fresno State students, as the campus has a whole garden dedicated to peace and influential figures that fought for peace. Finley Pendergrass takes us inside the Peace Garden, showing us what it means to all on campus.
5 statues stand in the Peace Garden: Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, Cesar Chavez, and Jane Addams. They not only celebrate peace, but represent a nonviolent fight for equal rights.
Ultimately, for me, it brings a sense of not necessarily peace, but unity. Just because there are so many different leaders who were fighting for the same thing, for peace for everybody, for equality for everyone.
The Peace Garden isn't just about commemorating statues like these. It's about remembering the lessons that they taught.
And on special days, like Gandhi's birthday, we're reminded of the messages these figures left us with.
So I think the whole goal is to create awareness about peace, create awareness about nonviolence, justice, love, because the power of love is a lot more stronger than power of hate.
But even in a garden of calm, conflict finds a way to rain on peace, which is all the more reason to focus on how these figures dealt with conflict.
Highlighting these figures to remember that nonviolence is a way for us to build bridges instead of walls, and is a way for us to come together instead of being so pulling each other apart.
Whether through group celebrations or simply stopping to admire the statues when you pass by, the Peace Garden offers all on campus a reminder to celebrate peace thanks to these 5 representatives. From the Fresno State Peace Garden, Finley Pendergast, Fresno State Focus.
The Peace Garden is just north of the Fresno State Library. For more information on statues, you can visit the Fresno State website.
So far this month, 12 scooters have been stolen on campus. Gregory Abella caught up with the Fresno State Police Department to provide some advice on how to keep your property from being stolen.
They zoom and they zip, they whip and they whoosh. We see them everywhere around. Electric scooters are a popular way to get from point A to point B, but scooter owners need to be cautious because thieves want to take your pricey two-wheel vehicle for a spin too.
And I saw a guy get bolt cutters and snap someone's lock and just start going, and I was like, did I just see someone steal that scooter? And I was like, I think I did, and then called the police and reported it.
If you have a scooter or a bike and you're riding around here on campus, there are a few things that you can do to prevent your property from being stolen or taken from you. Don't make it easy for thieves to take what belongs to you. One of the things is using this here bike barn. There's a couple of them, and one of these U-locks.
Unit 7. To come here to the traffic operations office located right next to the police department's door to register their scooters, whether it's a scooter, a bike, or an electronic scooter, electronic bikes. They have serial numbers. We encourage our students to come to the traffic operations to register. Once they register, they take photographs of their scooters. They register a serial number, and at this moment, they are giving out free U-locks.
So avoid the regret. Stop by the campus traffic office to register your property and get a free U-lock and prevent your scooter from being an easy target. This is Gregory Abella reporting on campus, Fresno State Focus.
Students can find the Traffic Division office right by the Fresno State Police Station lobby, located on Barstow and Jackson.
The Fresno State Library is driving the conversation about the freedom to read and the importance of libraries with their banned books exhibit. Following last week's banned books read-in, the library is hosting an exhibit that is now available through the 24th in the Diversity Lounge. Featured books that were banned or challenged in schools were put on display and were meant to raise awareness about censorship and access to such speech.
Librarians are here to help. They're here to help us provide access to information, and they exist to serve everyone in the community.
Celebrating and highlighting the freedom to educate yourself, the exhibit will remain open through the end of October inside the Fresno State Library. California has proposed a new bill on restricting the ownership of roosters because of noise and illegal cockfighting. But this law affects the Hmong community in Fresno. I take a look at how local Hmong community is impacted and why they say this bill needs to be changed. AB 298 aims at restricting backyard livestock, which has sparked controversy in one of Fresno's popular ethnic minority. Having these roosters for food is as important as having it for their everyday lives. Ceremonies, healing rituals, weddings, and funerals almost always require animals raised by hand. It is known that Fresno and Minnesota are the two major hotspots for the Hmong community, where they come to rebuild their lives after the war in Southeast Asia, holding on to traditions back on home, just like raising chickens. The community raises dozens of roosters in the spirit of keeping their ancestral customs alive, but under AB 298, limiting this number could make that nearly impossible. The shape, curl, and alignment of a rooster's feet are carefully observed to interpret many things about life. The quality of the animal is never something to be taken lightly.
And the Hmong community was very vocal about how they use roosters ceremonially and of course for religious reasons, And so as they came and educated me and other board members, it became clear that we need to modify the ordinance as it's written.
For now, the bill is still under pending. The Hmong community has been vocal about the proposition, wanting a solution that respects both their tradition and regulation, while others criticize the culture itself. For now, the bill is on hold until further updates.
Coming up on Fresno State Focus, we look at how crocheting has gained popularity. It's no longer just for grandmas.
We also look at the Collegian's graphic design team and the work that goes into making the paw print.
It's been raining the past few days, but how long will that blue sky last? I'll have your focus on weather coming up right after the break.
At Fresno State, being bold means committing to something greater than yourself. It's learning by doing and nurturing leaders to advance our shared future. It's using research to create a better life for those around us and healing those who need us most. These are our stories, because at Fresno State, bold begins here.
Success. At Fresno State, it's no secret. It's discovering new ways to change our world. It's creating opportunities as diverse as our community itself. It's in the distinction of our graduates as they lead us into the future. Success is no secret at Fresno State. It's our mission.
Welcome to your Focus on Weather. I'm Chelsea Broderick, and as you can see right behind me, there is a beautiful blue sky right out by the RSU. You guys can go with your friends, have a nice walk, and just enjoy the beautiful weather. Moving on now to the West Satellite. You can see it's nice and calm with that big rain that came in. It is now being pushed along to the side, so we will have all sunny skies from here until at least by the end of the week. And you can see that the ocean and the water is nice and calm. Moving on, we have today's highs. We are going to be in the high 50s to mid 60s, so nice weather to go out, play with your furry animals, and just have a great time. You can see Mariposa is at a nice 57. Right here in our own backyard at Fresno, it is a nice and cool 63 degrees. Going on to our lows, go ahead and bundle up with your nice sweaters and a blanket and go and watch a nice and cozy movie on the couch. At Shaver Lake, it's going to be a cold 32 degrees. And Madeira 47, and right here in Fresno we are going to be at 50 degrees. Lastly, we have our air quality. It's good. Go ahead and walk, go ahead and enjoy the weather. Moving on to our weekly forecast. It's going to be sunny skies all week long, so go ahead, enjoy the weather, and we'll send it right back to the desk.
The car scene in Fresno is something a lot of people may be familiar with, but everyone has a different story as how they got into cars. Jasmine Alvarado spoke with one local business owner about how he turned his vision into a top shop for car enthusiasts.
Go to college, get a degree, and start a career. That's what most parents want for their children.
I was all about education. You got to go to school. That's what's going to take you in life. That's what's going to do for you.
But that's not the only path to success. And Adam Jimenez, owner of Wrap My Ride, has proved that.
I didn't know it was going to turn into something. I was originally going to school, and then I ended up having a kid at like 22, so I needed to work more, figure stuff out.
Tucked in a corner on Ashland and Ballantyne Avenues in Fresno, the shop holds a variety of different cars. Each one comes out completely transformed with the owner absolutely in love.
Oh my God!
And the workers responsible, they're entirely self-taught and passionate about their work.
I've always been into cars ever since I was little, so I would always cleaned my parents' cars, vacuumed, cleaned them inside out. I did stripes on my parents' car, I think when I was like 14.
Each car is carefully detailed with crisp lines and corners neatly tucked, differentiating their work from other shops.
You come here, the first thing we do is we welcome you, we talk to you, we hear you out. We don't tell you what you want done. We let you, and then we give our advice, what we believe will look better, and then we'll let you make that choice.
Through loyal work, this story proves that there isn't one singular path to success. Reporting in Fresno, I'm Jasmine Alvarado, Fresno State Focus.
Many people are bound to the same family expectations as Adam, but it's important to remember that's not the only way to succeed. With passion and dedication, anything can be turned into a career. Fresno State student-run newspaper, The Collegian, has been running for over 100 years. A few of our classmates are over in Washington, D.C. right now on behalf of the newspaper for a journalism conference, including our very own Isaac Marquez.
I'm here in Washington, D.C. with The Collegian for this year's Media Fest conference. This conference is a national event and the largest gathering of student media in the country. These journalists come with their advisors to learn about all things media, from newspapers and magazines to social media and business. Professionals in the industry come and host workshops to share their wisdom and their ideas at this conference. Some of these workshops include how not to get sued, why your sports pages suck, and how to ethically report, and so much more. The last time this event was held in DC, there were over 200 workshops. Now you may be wondering, what does it take to get to a conference like this?
It takes lots of luggage, emotional support stuffed animals, and colleagues who have also become your friends. The students ride a plane and take the metro, all to spend 4 days surrounded by fellow journalists.
So yeah, we got here at 3:45 in the morning. We took the flight over to Dallas and then Dallas to DC. And we landed here around 4 o'clock. So we had some time to look around the city. It was really fun, but I'm most excited to learn new things about journalism and to win some awards.
Award categories range from Best News Story to Best Individual Reporter. The Collegian entered in a plethora of categories, including visuals for the Paw Print, which is our news magazine.
I went behind the scenes to show you just how much work our graphic designers do to make stories more than just words.
The Collegian office is where graphic designers spend all day and all night working to produce the Paw Print. The graphics team has to create a vision of the news magazine as well as take ideas from editors and turn them into reality.
Like number one is like saying like he plays like.
Oftentimes at the disbelief of the staff and faculty.
That I am very impressed with what our graphics people are able to do. I could never do it. I could never think of these visual designs.
The designs can take anywhere from a couple of minutes to more than 10 hours. This leaves the designers feeling overworked.
Basically sacrificing like at least 50 to 80% of your time, like 2 weeks before it comes out. Like all your attention needs to be focused on stuff.
Historically, the Paw Print has been a one-night endeavor, often staying late into the night and leaving the graphics team tired, sad, and sometimes in tears. But things are slowly changing.
The Collegian has opted for a staggered page format that allows for the workload to be spread throughout the week.
It's allowed for us to be more collaborative, and it's a lot easier on the both of us as well because we're not worried about like the dock crashing or like who's doing what.
Now future graphic designers can say,
"Not tonight though."
To working until mornings.
Awards from the event are given out on Saturday, so we will find out at the end of this week if the Collegian is taking home any gold. We will let you know on next week's newscast. From Washington, D.C., Isaac Marquez, Fresno State Focus.
ABC News correspondent Bob Woodruff visited Fresno this week to share lessons from his career in journalism and to inspire students preparing to enter the field. Woodruff spoke to a group of invited students and after that took to the stage at the Soroyan Theater with the goal of educating those who are curious about international reporting and why journalism is an honorable and important profession.
Journalism to this day is a very necessary form of information to give people in the country.
Woodruff left his audience with a newfound sense of inspiration and perspective, encouraging people to pursue journalism that makes a real difference in the world.
Fresno State students are weaving together art and sustainability through culture. In the RSU, students follow the arrows leading to the threads of culture, a hands-on workshop series celebrating textile and art sustainability in different cultures. In this morning's workshop, it was Bella Ramos who taught students a mending technique that turns repair into art.
A version of visible mending called sashiko. It's from Japan, and it's a version of like making your clothes both embroidered and a design and also reinforcing the strength of the material.
No, I'm like, huh?
From the first stitch to the final pattern, students learn how traditional art can be both creative and eco-friendly. The Threads of Culture series continues next month with Native American beading. Crochet and grandma-like trends are becoming popular among young adults for all the right reasons. There is a new group on campus offering students a chance to hang out and share their love of yarn. Crocheting is a hobby that can help students in their bustling lives just to relax and focus their minds on something other than the demands of school. Clara Lukens says this is a helpful outlet for her.
With everything going on, it's like helped me find a way to like stop and like really make myself focus on like the present, and something that calms me during like big weeks with all the studying and school, and also being an athlete too. There's a lot going on, so it makes me stop and think about what I'm doing.
You heard right. Even athletes need a break, and crocheting helps them decompress. The Crocheting Hangout is every Tuesday in the Speech Arts Building from noon to 1 in room 179.
Whether it be rain or shine, the fall season is definitely here, and so are all the festivities that follow the season. With me today is Tyla Namavongsa from Spotlight Events to talk about the various events on campus that students get involved with. Hello, Tyla. Thank you for meeting with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So to really start, what type of Halloween event is Spotlight Events putting on?
I first want to start off by saying that Spotlight Events is an organization on campus who puts on events for students by students. Our whole purpose is to embrace campus life through our events. And as for Halloween, on Thursday, October 30th from 6 to 10 p.m. in the Memorial Gardens, we are hosting our annual Spotlight Spectacular.
Awesome. That sounds really like a lot of fun. So what will this event have for students, if you don't mind me asking?
I like to say, think of it as a mini carnival meets big Halloween party, and that's what Spotlight Spectacular is. We're going to be having carnival swings, carnival attractions. As for food, there's going to be birria tacos, birria ramen, Halloween-themed chamoy candies, and agua frescas. And I like to mention that we are going to have a pie-eating costume, a mummy wrapping contest, and a costume contest. So that'll be very fun.
That sounds so awesome, but I think that's all the time we have for now. However, though, let's go to Ryan Leonardo, who's live at the Island Water Park at Fresno Fright Nights. Oh, spooky. Ryan?
Thank you, Sarah. Yes, so I'm here with Bob Martin, who's the managing partner here at Island Water Park, who's helped to set up all the Fright Night that's been going on from October 3rd all the way until November 1st, happening only on the weekends. We are here in front of Chemical, which is one of the multiple attractions that they have here. Would you like to explain a little bit more of what happens inside this one?
Well, it was a company, Fresno Advanced Chemicals, and they were doing biotesting, and some really bad things happened along the way to animals, and you have to come check it out.
I know there's a couple other ones. There's this bayou that's also near us, which is special for the Central Valley because it's one of the 6 water parks here that have a pond, right?
Yes, we only have, it's the only one in America that has a barge ride around it, so you get to come get on the water.
So what else kind of makes it a little more special?
We have Ghoultown Trails, which is a cemetery, and we have Nightcrawler's Pizza. Don't eat the pizza.
Well, yes, I will definitely be coming back as somebody who has worked in a haunted maze before. I really do enjoy scariness. So thank you again, Bob, for joining me, and back to you guys in the studio.
Coming up in sports, we see how the final 2 games of Week 6 in the NFL went down.
And we see who is still alive in the MLB postseason. Stay tuned for your focus on sports.
I got the bulldog spirit up in my head.
Up in my head. Up in my head. I got that bulldog spirit. Up in my head. Up in my head to say. I got that bulldog spirit. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Got that bulldog spirit. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart to stay. I got that bulldog spirit. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. Down in my toes, I got that bulldog spirit. Down in my toes, hey. Down in my toes to stay. I got that bulldog spirit. Up in my head, deep in my heart. Down in my toes, I got that bulldog spirit. All over me to stay. I got that bulldog spirit.
Deep in my heart.
Deep in my heart, deep in my heart, I got that bulldog spirit.
Welcome back. I'm Aaron Story with your Focus on Sports. The Monday night doubleheader was a perfect way to end week 6 of the 2025 NFL season. To start the night off, Fireball native Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills looked for a victory on the road in Atlanta. Allen threw for 2 touchdowns, coming up just short, losing 24-14 against the Falcons. To end the night, the Commanders would take on the Bears in Chicago. It's always a great battle between the two NFC teams, but the Bears came out on top as newly signed kicker Jake Moody hit a 38-yard field goal to win the game. The Fresno State football team is on a bye week, but there are still other sports to support for this week. The volleyball team is heading to Utah tomorrow to take on the Utah State Aggies at 5 o'clock in hopes of getting their first win on the road this season. The soccer team has 2 home games, one against the Colorado State Rams tomorrow night at 7 and Grand Canyon University on Sunday at noon. The Soccer Dogs look to get their first home win in front of the Red Wave this season. Other sports going on this weekend include equestrian on Friday, cross country, and swim and dive on Saturday. The MLB postseason is heating up as both leagues battle in the championship series with a trip to the World Series on the line. The defending champion Los Angeles Dodgers took a 1-0 series lead on the Milwaukee Brewers in a close 1-1 victory on Monday night. In Game 2, the Dodgers beat the Brewers with the series 2-0, heading back to Milwaukee on Thursday. In the American League, the Mariners look to take a commanding 3-0 lead against the Blue Jays in hopes of advancing to their first World Series appearance in franchise history, with Game 3 starting at 5:08 tonight. The NBA season is less than 1 week away from tip-off. There are a few names from the Valley to look out for on the NBA hardwood. Former Bulldogs Paul George of the 76ers and Orlando Robinson of the Orlando Magic look to have a great season battling in the Eastern Conference. There are some other Fresno natives to watch for, including Brook Lopez of the Clippers entering his 18th season, Jalen Green of the Phoenix Suns entering his 5th season, and Cedric Coward entering his rookie season with the Grizzlies. It should be an exciting season for the 559. I'm Aaron Story, and that's your Focus on Sports. Back to you, Ronan.
Next week on Fresno State Focus, we take a look at what resources are available for students with disabilities.
Plus, we see how a Cambodian restaurant represents their culture through food.
And one of our reporters takes a look at which buildings on campus have the nicest bathrooms. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.